Oh no, insect damage on leaves. Looks like it might be Lepidoptera. You know, butterflies, moths. But what if it isn't? You don't want to spray anything. After all, you like being natural. You want to be good to the earth. What are some natural alternatives to a typical organophosphate? Let's find out. Hey, aren't you that dog from the Dog Gardening Committee in San Diego? Yeah, that's right, you're Cosmo. Do you have a minute? Can I ask you a couple of questions? So you're a pretty well-respected dog gardener. Do you have any tips to help with chewing insects on leaves? Huh, really? I hadn't heard of that. Hey, I'm gonna have to look into that. Thanks so much. Spinosad, Spinosad, however you say it. It's an alternative pesticide to the conventional products on the market. It's supposed to be easier on the environment. But how does it break down? And if so, how long does it take? It turns out, Spinosad breaks down mainly through photodegradation and biotransformation. The number one way Spinosad dissipates is when light breaks apart its molecules on the leaf's surface. Additionally, microbes rapidly break down Spinosad on the soil. Studies have found that Spinosad adheres to soil particles and is unlikely to leach below the top 6 inches of a soil profile. Spinosad does not volatilize from soil or plant surfaces, so there is a very low chance of it causing drift when applied. That means once it sticks to your plants, it stays there, and it's pretty effective. Hey guys, stop eating! The breakdown of Spinosad due to hydrolysis, or how water breaks down a compound and changes its makeup, is pretty quick. It turns out at 25 degrees Celsius with natural sunlight, Spinosad breaks down and has a half-life of less than 1 day. What a great natural alternative pest control. Well, we have rum to thank for the discovery of Spinosad. In the 1980s, Saccharopolyspora spinosa, a type of bacteria, was discovered from a soil sample collected at a sugar mill rum still in the Virgin Islands. Today's Spinosad is a combination of this bacteria fermented and brewed to create the active insecticidal components. According to the California Department of Pesticide Regulation, Spinosad activates the central nervous system of insects through interaction with the nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. Immediately after application, insect pests exhibit irreversible tremors, trembling, paralysis, and death. These nice juicy basil leaves would be a perfect target for any foliage-feeding worm. Lepidoptera species are often controlled by Bt, which works on their gut system, but Spinosad actually works on the nervous system of insects and can control a more wide spectrum of foliage feeders. Spinosad works on many different larvae from different families, going down to leaf miners, thrips, armyworms, fly larvae, flea beetles, and katydids, and of course the regular caterpillars from Lepidoptera. So it's a little more broad spectrum than Bt, controlling beetles, flies, thrips, and a lot more of the foliage-feeding worms than Bt does. I contacted the San Diego County Farm Bureau to ask if they had any thoughts on Spinosad. They mentioned that it's a very important tool for organic farmers during their regular routine maintenance of plants like these squash plants, but also that conventional growers are using Spinosad too, especially during outbreaks of the foreign fruit flies that happens from time to time. These plants would be quarantined to the field and the products would have to stay if there was a fruit fly infestation. And it turns out Spinosad is the best tool to help take care of it quickly and get rid of the problem. Okay, how to apply? Well, the back of each label, complete label on the back of the product, would tell you the ratios you need per volume of water. For instance, if you have a small project, small infestation, you can use a 32-ounce spray bottle, use about half an ounce or 1 tablespoon of product mixed up with water for that. Or if you have a larger project and you needed something like a backpack sprayer that has a 4-gallon capacity, you would use, according to the label, 2 ounces of concentrate per gallon of water, making this backpack sprayer holding capacity to be about 8 ounces or 16 tablespoons of concentrate. Of course, double check your ratios and what plants you're spraying on by consulting the complete label on the back of the product. When spraying Spinosad on top of a leaf surface, make sure you get the top and the bottom as much as you can, especially if the leaf is thick. Otherwise, the insect won't chew through and might miss getting a hold of that pesticide and making it less effective. According to its label, Monterey Garden Insect Spray's version of Spinosad does not significantly impact predatory or beneficial insects, predatory mites, or spiders. However, it does indicate that the product is toxic to bees for 3 hours after application. Therefore, it's best to apply Spinosad early in the morning or in the evening when it's less likely to come into contact with bees. Since Spinosad is a biologically active and alive product, you don't want to keep it outside in excessive heat or sunlight. It's better to keep it in the shade. Also, you want to make sure you only mix up as much as you need for a given time, since it's not as effective unless it's been freshly mixed. Also, it's got about a 6-month shelf life once it's been opened before those organisms dissipate. As the sun sets on the Pacific, so does our presentation on Spinosad end. But first, a song. That bug is a real plant eater, chewing up the leaves, you can't hardly see her. You spray BT, there's no reaction, guess you need a product with a different mode of action. Larva, chewing the leaves. That's when Spinosad comes to the rescue, spray it on the leaves and it resolves the issue. Biological insecticide works on nerves, bugs eat it and then they die. I had a lot of help making this movie. Thank you so much to the people who reached out and talked to me personally. Eric Larson from the San Diego County Farm Bureau and Patty Tackett from Cuyamaca College. Also a shout out to my dog Cosmo, who was a good sport and a great garden consultant. The other resources I used were the California Department of Pesticide Regulation that had a great article called Environmental Fate of Spinosad, and also the Journal of Antibiotics website that had an article called The Spinosad Family of Insecticides, Realizing the Potential of Natural Products Research. Hey, thanks for watching!